Hey, this is Garrett McAllister with Clean Direct, the home of SkyVac here in North America. And today we're going to be talking about the SkyVac Interceptor. The SkyVac Interceptor is our gas-powered professional gutter vacuum system. It allows the operator to clean up to 40 feet high safely from the ground. It is designed with 4 major components plus a pole set. The 4 components are the very durable and mobile cart, the Honda motor, a powerful turbine that sits underneath the motor, and a drum. The SkyVac Interceptor has a mobile and narrow design. This way, it can fit through crowded spaces, houses that are really close together that have a gate. It can fit right through because it is narrow. Let's take a moment and show you how the drum separates from the chassis. It's very simple. You have a hose here. This leads to the turbine. So we're going to unsnap that, and we're going to have 3 metal snaps that we undo, and then literally use this piece as a handle and bring this to the ground. So that's an easy way to pull the top off. Now, when I have the top off, what I can do is I have 2 options to empty the drum. I have 2 handles, so it's ergonomically designed so that we can lift and empty it. Or, if I prefer, I can unsnap these 2 red snaps, and I can take the drum off and separate it in this manner. Now, this leaves us with the cart, the motor, and the turbine. Now, the neat thing about this is I'm able to pop this up on its back 2 wheels. If I wanted to pull this across a garden bed or some rocky terrain, or if I wanted to leverage it up onto the back of a vehicle, I could pop it up, pop a wheelie and do it this way as well. The front 2 casters are lockable, and I can use my foot to snap those down just like that. And I like to get into the habit of doing that before or when I'm on a job so the machine doesn't get away from me. There is, if you notice down here, a ground. This is designed to touch to the ground to keep from static electricity from building up in the pole sets and shocking the operator. So this is the Sieve Basket that I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to remove it, but this is what it looks like down inside the drum, and it sits up on stilts. So as you're sucking up water, the water is going to come into, and the debris is going to come into the Sieve Basket, and there's little tiny holes that are going to drain the water down to the bottom, and then the debris will stay inside the basket. So we have a little spring here that removes just like that. Now, you don't have to use this all the time. I would use it in any instance where you're just, the majority of your debris is wet or there's a lot of water. In other areas, dry areas, you don't need to use it, you can just pull it out. So this has 2 handles. This is what it looks like. And you see it sits on stilts. So this is the SkyVac Sieve Basket for the Interceptor, and you can see here it's down in the drum. Now, it sits up on stilts, and it will allow water to come through the little tiny holes in the Sieve Basket. So when you have debris, that's a lot of water and just maybe a little bit of debris, this basket will catch the debris and easily allow you to drain the drum if it's full of water, and you can drain it through this sieve hose, okay? So how it removes is we got a little cap here. This pops out. And then it has 2 handles. And we just lift it out. It is designed in stainless steel to hold up. It has a little bit of weight to it. And you can see the feet here on the bottom, which allows it to stand off the bottom of the drum. So this is the SkyVac Interceptor hose. It is a wire reinforced hose. It is our 3rd iteration or design of hose for this system over the years, because we have continuously tried to get it lighter, and so this is very, very light, and stronger, so it lasts much longer. Now this particular design we really like because it's light, it's reinforced, and it doesn't kink. Each of the connectors here on the end, this is a hose to drum cuff connector, and this is a hose to pole cuff connector. Both of these plus the hose, which is about approximately 25 feet in length, will come with your system, and you can also purchase, if you want, an additional hose and a hose-to-hose connector if you want to lengthen the distance of the hose. Now keep in mind, the further you get, the less suction you'll have on your vacuum system. So if you were to combine 2 of these hoses, let's say, and you were going up 7 poles high, it wouldn't be as strong as having 1 hose and maybe 3 poles high, because the suction degrades over the distance. So just a quick side note, I'd like you to look a little closer here. So this hose goes down directly into the turbine. It's part of the suction system with the SkyVac Interceptor. One precaution is that you must cut the engine off, or switch the engine off, before this hose is disconnected. So there's not a whole lot to know about this system, but that is one precaution. If you leave the system running and this becomes disconnected and sucks something up, that's going to go directly into your turbine, likely destroying the turbine, at the very least clogging the turbine and requiring a major service to the machine. So that's the one thing that we've put a sticker on here to warn people about, and we try to tell everybody about that, is to be real cautious. We've also, just to be safe, installed, in our second iteration of this machine, we installed this little holder here to keep this hose from just dropping down to the ground. It does support it and keeps it from flopping onto the ground and sucking up a pile of leaves or rocks or something. Let's talk about the tools and how they attach to your top pole. So what you're going to do is, before you build your poles up to your desired cleaning height, you're going to go ahead and attach this 135-degree carbon fiber tool holder to the top pole. Now this is the optimal angle at 135 degrees, which gives us the proper angle and distance from the structure to clean. Also, you'll notice this is our 3rd or 4th iteration of this design. When we first started, we started with something like silicone, which works okay, but is a bit heavy and also has debris sticks more inside of that. Whereas carbon fiber is slicker and debris tends to flow through it better. Also, we came in and widened the neck. So we call this a rigid neck. And what this does is it prevents or drastically reduces the amount of clogging for debris that's coming at this kind of sharp angle as it comes through the poles. Now you'll notice here there's a clamp on this end here. So all we have to do is choose whichever tool that we'd like to use. In this case, I'm just going to use a common daily plastic tool. That's actually my favorite. And you'll see that it has a sharper point on one end and a flat on the other. All we're going to do is stick that in there and clamp it down. These clamps are all adjustable, just thumb screw. You can adjust them to the proper pressure that you need. These are the tools that come with the SkyVac Interceptor as standard. We have the daily plastic tool. We have the long end tool, which is in metal and can go further down into the downspout to clean all the way up to the elbow in most downspouts. The dual tool, which is a 2-sided scallop and dirt breaker tool. Also a reducer tool, and this is a crevice tool. So this will allow you to get to those gutters that are being blocked by shingles. Sometimes when they install shingles onto structures, they fall too far over and it only leaves a small gap for cleaning. So this will allow you to get down into that gap. It's got a flat crevice tool there. Now the only tool on this board that is not included, is sold separately, is our blower tool. Now this is a unique design. We actually kind of Frankensteined this with several of our other tools, and it works quite well. We use silicone because when we're cleaning on the top of a roof, shingles, asphalt shingles, can be very rough, sandpaper-like. So this will hold up a whole lot better when you're dragging it or bouncing it up and down on top of a roof if you're going to be blowing, say, pine needles or debris down. So this is much more durable than carbon fiber, which tends to wear away much faster. Also, we have a reducer tool here which constricts the stream of air and gives us a nice blow feature up at height. And then this particular piece right here is a carbon fiber spigot, and that's just basically an adapter so we can adapt it to our Elite pole system. So this was something that we came up with after the fact, and it works quite well. So this is, if you're going to be using a lot of the blow feature, we recommend adding this to your kit as an add-on. One of our newest products is a hose bag. I know it sounds simple, but people have been asking us for this for a very long time. So this actually stores your hose. Your poles do come in a pole bag as well with side zippers. We'll show you that in a minute. But this this hose bag is kind of nice, and you can just wrap up your hose and then put this on a hook in your van or truck for transporting your system. Now, if you look over here, we have some additional tools that are not standard with the kit. Now, these are add-ons, but they're used in specific situations. Depending on where you live, the demographics, the type of gutters you're going to be cleaning. Let's go through them one by one. You can decide if you need any of them. Our first one is a 180-degree carbon fiber tool holder. So there's some situations where structures and buildings are so close together, you can't get to them at the normal 135-degree angle that we saw earlier with our Elite carbon fiber tool holder. So this particular tool allows you to clean from directly underneath the gutter. Now, we always recommend that you wear a safety hat and glasses to protect yourself. You don't know what might come out of that gutter, and you're going to be standing directly underneath it. But this will allow you to take care of that work without, being blocked by, let's say, a tree or a vicious dog tied up on a chain, or another structure that's just so close you're just bumping up against it, or a fence or something like that. That's the 180 degree. We also have a straight carbon fiber tool holder. This is designed if you were standing on top of the roof or in some special situations where you wanted to go straight on with the cleaning effort. That'll give you a straight section to do that. We also have a 90 degree. So this will allow you to stand from scaffolding, from a lift, or maybe you're on the top of the roof and you want to clean from the roof. We do have some service providers that do it that way for particular reasons. This gives you a 90-degree cleaning angle, which is really nice. Let's talk about the extra tools. So we have the high flow end tool, which is designed for pine needles. It has an oval shape here and does allow for scooping action, and has a kind of a wide mouth, so bigger kind of debris can be funneled down and come through the system. We have the multi-tool. What this does is this allows us to take our carbon fiber vacuum poles and dual purpose them for a water-fed pole. So we could screw a angle crank and put a brush on here, and we could feed a water line through the poles, and we can actually use these for window cleaning or for scrubbing something up high. I don't recommend it if you're going to be doing that every day. If so, talk to us about some of our water-fed poles and tools that we use for window cleaning, but this is a nice feature to just turn these poles into another use. Then we also have what we call the Viper tool. Now, the Viper tool is an aggressive, I like to call it the Freddy Krueger tool, is an aggressive tool that allows you to go in and dig out plants and trees and real heavy debris. We see it in some areas of the country, especially for people who don't have their gutters cleaned very often. And this is an aggressive tool, and it works quite well. So I do recommend having this in your arsenal, and also recommend the high flow tool in your arsenal if you feel the need to acquire them. Okay. Then we have a hose-to-hose connector. Now, this is designed for hoses other than our wire reinforced hose. So if you have your own hose, or you have one of our older plastic type hoses, that's what that's designed for. There's still some of those out in the field. But this is a hose-to-hose connector for our new wire reinforced hose. And you can see it fits on the inside and it's clamped on. This allows you to take two hoses, bind them together so you can extend the length of your hose in your cleaning. Here, these tools on the bottom right are designed for our sky pole. Now, our sky pole is a separate telescopic carbon fiber pole. There's no water line in it. It's really designed more for our inspection system. So this allows you to, this will screw on to that pole at the top and allow you to mount one of our cameras so you can see into the gutters. And this is a gutter fork, which also screws on to the sky pole and will allow you to have some aggressive cleaning and scooping action in the gutter. So it's just another tool to add to your arsenal in case you want to have everything available and to speed up your jobs. So this aluminum metal tool you see here at the bottom is a very large tool, but what this allows you to do is allows you to clean very special circumstances where the gutter system has some kind of obstruction, or they're inset gutters. We see that in some of the older buildings where the gutter isn't on the perimeter, it's actually inset into the roof. So this allows you to kind of get up and over and clean in those special situations. Do I recommend you buying this right off the bat? No, but if you have a certain property that you know this can be handy for, then you might want to add it to your kit. The SkyVac Interceptor comes with the pole set, 8 poles, 5 feet in length, go up to 40 feet high safely from the ground. It also comes with a carry bag, and it's a really nice carry bag, has zippers and side pockets for all your tools so they can fit in here. So that way you can keep your poles nice and protected and you don't lose them. Keep them here in your bag. It does have a shoulder carry strap and also